Well, I'm a big fan of science and I'm a big fan of peace, so it would make sense to want to be associated with a group that bonds these two important things together. I think that the only way to reach peace is for many, many different people, organizations, nations, diplomats, anybody that can work together for the goal of peace. I don't think any one organization can change the world or the situation of world peace, but all together can create a very positive dynamic towards reaching peace. My parents moved to the United States when I was 6 months old. I was born in Israel. I grew up in the United States, first in Rochester, then in Manhattan, in New York City, in the Bronx, actually, and then moved back to Israel when I was 17 years old. My upbringing was totally American in that sense, meaning English is my first language, and I was very fortunate to have grown up in New York with a lot of cultural influences of cinema and film, movies, Broadway, museums, incredible amount of art. I think that has given me a great perspective on different cultures and languages and the width and breadth of the world. Israel is my homeland, and it is where I live today. I speak Hebrew. I was also raised in a home that, though we were in New York, living in New York, it was a very Israeli home. So I also spoke Hebrew, and my parents raised me on the Yemenite Israeli values and the music and the dancing, the drum playing, the food. So I really did grow up in a very multicultural atmosphere. I think that puts me in a much better position to reach out to different languages and cultures and peoples today as a singer traveling around the world. In Israel, the entire population goes to the military, where unfortunately it's part of our reality in Israel, a reality that we're trying to change. At least I am, and many, many people like me. Obviously, if we had a peaceful situation, it would not be necessary for everybody to go to the army. We are also a very, very small country, so that has to defend itself. So here we are in this situation. I was fortunate to be able to be accepted to a military entertainment unit. So I was singing in the army. I was in sort of a military band after doing basic training. Despite the fact that I had a great job that was very well adapted to my talents and my aspirations for life, the military is a challenging situation. It matures you overnight. You're not the same person. Well, very similar to science, I think. All of the arts and free sciences, free arts, liberated thinking movements have the same effect on people. I think that they unify all people. Science, an international language, an international aspiration for knowledge. Likewise, music is an international language and an international aspiration for beauty, for emotion, for delving deeper into the human spirit. I don't think science can be made simple. People invest their lives investigating something, experimenting on something, trying to understand. So you can't simplify something like that in a moment, just like you can't simplify Bach in a moment, On the other hand, what you can do is emphasize the importance of science, the beauty of it, to expose children, especially children, to the wonder of science. And I think it's beyond everything, it's asking questions, not taking anything for granted. Imagine. If I could have just sort of written that one, that would have been great. I haven't written many peace songs myself. I have a song called Shalom Shalom, which is a peace song. But most of my songs are about the human condition in general. And since, as I told you, I really do think that the key to peace is finding our connections, our human connections, finding what we have in common, as opposed to constantly stressing what differentiates us. Then I think that this kind of needing the human soul, which is what I've been trying to do over the years, is achieving that purpose. In my opinion, the biggest obstacle in the world today is religion. If there's one thing that I can pinpoint as our biggest problem, it's religion. Religious fanaticism, blind religious belief. And I think that there is nothing that is more contradictory to science than religion. And so I'm a great, I said, admirer of science, because science is curiosity. Science is the opening of the mind. In my opinion, religion is the closing of the mind. And I think that the religious leaders of the world have a great responsibility on their shoulders to encourage their followers to open their hearts. If they're not going to open their minds, at least to open their hearts. Yes? Open your mind through science. Open your heart with music. Open your arms to whoever you can. Live with kindness and generosity and compassion.